Hi, I am Marya, your host of Pain to Power. This is a show where we turn our struggles into our strengths and we heal in community. Brought to you in association with the I Rant Network. And please, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell below, like, and leave a comment. Engage with us. Today, we have a great conversation, and I want to make sure that you're with us. Engage, asking questions, and just connecting. So, thank you and welcome. I want to start off with this quote. The bravest people are those who keep going when the world sees no sign of their strength. Right now, we are in a time in our world where a lot of people are going through pain and different kinds of pain. Some of it's silent pain, some of it's visible pain, some of it's pain that we all are having common feelings about, but pain is what we're seeing. And oftentimes, many people are carrying that without speaking on it. So today, my guest is bravely sharing her story openly and giving us this understanding of what it is to hold daily pain. And I am really excited to bring to the stage the author of the book, The Daily Pain, that Cecily Holland has written. Welcome, Cecily.
Hi, Marya. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay today.
Well, it's really an honor to have you here. First off, I love the yellow. Yellow is sunshine and light. And when I think about our conversation today, you're bringing light and awareness to something that often we don't talk about. So I love the color and the energy that you're going to be bringing to today's conversation. It's an honor to have you here. And I know this is actually your first interview talking about your book.
Yes, it's my very first interview. So I'm blessed that you wanted to have me on your show to discuss the book. I look forward to our conversation and thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So, we just start off. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about just who you are, your story a little bit, and then we'll definitely talk about the book.
My name is Cecily Holland. I was born in Eunice, Louisiana, which is a small town in St. Landry Parish. I was raised in Lafayette Parish, and some of the things that interest me include reading, writing, cooking, baking. I graduated from my undergraduate degree comes from Southern University in Agricultural and Mechanical College in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And my graduate degree comes from Texas Southern University in Houston, Texas. Um, I have struggled with depression and anxiety since I was an adolescent. It's something I used to be ashamed of, but I realize I am no longer ashamed. And I hope that by sharing my story, I can help someone else along the way.
Oh, thank you so much. And it sounds like you have a lot of dynamic, rich history of where you grew up and the experiences that you have, but it's also definitely come with some pain. And one of the things that I always bring my guests on here, the show title is called Pain to Power because for me, I think everyone has a really personal relationship with what it is to find power in pain. So when you think about that for yourself, what does that mean, turning pain into power?
For me, turning pain into power in this situation, in this scenario, was writing this book. This is how I turned my pain into power. I put my pain on paper using words, emotions, and feelings for different things that I experienced and went through. And so I feel that's how I turned my pain into power, how I took my power back by writing and sharing my story with the world and letting other people know that it's okay if you're feeling a certain way. It's okay to go to a counselor or seek counseling for help. And that's how I feel. I turn my pain into power by writing and publishing this book and sharing it with the world.
That's a beautiful thing. I actually just talked about that on a show that I do about this idea of birthing ideas is part of healing, right? So turning your pain into power was the writing for you. And when you think about that, How did you know your story was ready to be shared with others, not just holding it inside you?
Well, to speak quite honestly and transparently, the Lord told me 20 years ago, or over 20 years ago, I want you to write a book. You're going to tell the world what you went through with anxiety and depression. And so I'm like, me? You want me to write a book? You want me to tell my business? You know how we get in this day and age, like, I'm not about to put my business out here in the
Mm,
streets for people to be knowing what's going on with me. But so over the years, as life passed, I would write, I would stop. I would write, I would stop. Life kept
mm,
happening. But it's like I would get these nudges, or some people say they hear the voice of God in different ways, whether it be loud or whispers. For me, I don't hear the voice of God loud. I hear the voice of God at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when He's nudging me or waking me up because I can't sleep. That's when God wants to tell me something. Or sometimes you may see it through signs or
mm,
confirmation from things other people may tell you. But I say all this to say that I always knew I would write the book, but in January of 2024, this is when I finally got serious and said, okay, Lord, I'm ready to listen. I'm ready to follow your instructions. And I picked it up again. I was determined to finish it. I was like, I gotta finish it this year. I gotta finish it. And then April of 2024 came and my father passed. So after my father passed, I stopped. I stopped because you're in the middle of grief, paperwork, you're trying to work at the same time while trying to maintain your sanity on top of
right.
grieving. And finally I said, you know what? I said, I need to finish this. I need to finish this for myself. I need to finish this for dad. I need to finish this for the world because just to speak transparently and honestly, I closed the coffin at my dad's funeral, like at the last viewing in the church. And I told myself, I said, Cicely, if you can close the coffin at the funeral of your own dad, you can finish this book.
Mm,
And I did it.
you did it. Yeah. My condolences for your loss.
Thank you.
Um, and so it sounds like your father played a big role in your life and in this book. Is there some pieces about him inspiring this for you that you can share with us?
Absolutely. When he met my mom married, my father and my mom married when I was 6. And in the book, I discuss how he was instrumental in helping my mom and I navigate the healthcare system. Him and my mother made sure I was able to get the resources that I needed, whether it was counseling, going to a doctor, um, or just making sure I'm okay. Like, he always made sure I was okay. And he took care of me, what a father is supposed to do. He was there, he listened, he cared, he was supportive. And those are some of the ways that he showed up. And as you know, when you read the book, I mention him quite often about how he was real instrumental in this battle of helping me navigate these challenges throughout the years. Him and my mother. I couldn't have did it without him, either one of them.
Mm, that's really important, and I appreciate that because it sounds like then he also in his passing has motivated you, right, to take it to this next level as well, which is powerful. And that's it's a full circle, it sounds like, right? Um,
It absolutely is full circle. Uh, I will say that since he's passed, I've always heard people say you're not the same, after losing a parent, or you change in so many different ways. And I really didn't know or learn that until after it happened to me.
mm,
I became a stronger, version of myself, a more powerful version of myself. So it's almost like this pain pushed me to birth this purpose, if this makes sense.
Mm, absolutely.
And I had to find an outlet. I had to find an artistic outlet to deal with this grief and find some way to honor myself, honor my mother and my father. And I said, that's it. I got to finish this book. And like I said, I started in January of 2024. Well, picked it up again. And it's just that dad didn't get to see the final copy because he passed in April of 2024.
I'm sorry that he missed that.
Me
But
too.
again, you talk about your strength, and I want to talk about that because being stronger, you describe yourself as being unapologetically yourself in the book. Uh, how does that is that part of that strength you felt? Like where did you feel that ability to be unapologetically yourself? And what does that mean for you?
I haven't always been this way. You know, in the book, I was quite frank about how I used to let people walk all over me, use me, take advantage of my kindness, uh, misuse me, maybe take advantage of me in different ways. But as you age, you begin to mature, or you would think age would bring about maturity, and you grow and you learn. Now, we're always constantly growing and learning, but I feel like I have done so much growing and learning and stretching the
Mm.
past year. I cannot begin to explain. So I feel like living my truth or being who I am unapologetically is how I'm honoring myself now. And
Mm.
to be quite frankly, you know, like either you like it or you don't. And that's not speaking from a rude or ugly standpoint, but I'm just saying I'm at the point in my life where I am who I am. And either you're going to love me and accept me for who I am or you're not. And that's okay too. You know, everybody is not for everybody, or everyone is not for everybody.
No, they're not, right? But that's so much strength. I think for what you speak of is your story of how you used to show up before and what you allowed in the way people were treating you to be able to say I am me and I am standing up as me unapologetically is a lot of shift and strength in that. So I applaud you for that. That's
Thank you.
big.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And let me just say, I am a huge advocate for therapy, and I discussed that in the book as well about counseling and therapy because you can have family members, you can have friends, but at the end of the day, you want to pray to Jesus, but you also want to have an unbiased voice, unbiased license voice that you're able to
Mhm.
talk to about your emotions. And please note, I said license because some people think they're therapists and they're not therapists. They don't have a license. So, and I also talk about or discuss how sometimes you may prefer a particular sex. You may prefer a female therapist, a male therapist. You may prefer Caucasian, African American, Hindu, Mexican, Asian. I don't know. But you have to figure out and decide what works for you. And sometimes you may start with one doctor or therapist and you find they're not a good match for you, or they're not grasping your story as you would hope they would. And that's okay. That's nothing personal. But all you do is you find another therapist who works for you and who gets your story.
Mm. Absolutely. It's such a personal decision. And I love that because it sounds like, in addition to you telling your story and being vulnerable and honest, you're also giving people practical tools to navigate their own journey of understanding anxiety and depression in this book.
Absolutely. And that was my hope. My hope was that people would take this and realize it's okay to go and seek counseling or obtain counseling services, because so many of us are dealing with unresolved traumas, whether it's from our childhood or dating history or family history, whatever it may be. And you need to work through those traumas and heal. Heal. I cannot stress that enough. Heal.
Absolutely. Heal,
Set
heal, heal.
yes, and set your boundaries. Like boundaries are really important
Mhm.
as well.
Mhm. Absolutely. Everything you're saying, right? So I want to come back and I saw there's some people in our chat. I want to say welcome and thank you for engaging with us here in the chat. Please make sure that you're here. Make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment, and keep bringing up your comments and thoughts in the chat. I think I saw some of our ranters family. There we go. Tasha from No Hold Backs. Welcome, Tasha. She says, indeed, doing that inner work is important. Get therapy. Yes, yes. From professional herself. Yes, get therapy, right? I love it. And Just One Love is joining us as well. Good evening, Renters family. Good evening, Just One Love. So happy to have you both here and our Renters family. Indeed, I learned so much about me and people around me when my dad died. A part of me died and part of me grew. I get it. Absolutely. When we lose a parent, that is significant in our lives. There's a huge loss, and there's so much that we learn about ourselves, our strength, the community around us, right? Their legacy, who we want to be. There's so much. I feel like so many conversations I've had today about loss of people around us are coming back to me. Um, and so, I wonder, and you talk about the practicality, it sounds like therapy is one of the things that was the tools for you, but what else helped you and gave you to learn that strength?
I would say first and foremost, Jesus Christ. I also discuss in the book. I was raised in the Christian faith. I grew up in the Black Baptist church. I'm a Christian. I believe you should be able to know a tree by its fruit. I try to treat people the way I would want to be treated. Um, Going to church, praying, reading scriptures, meditating, journaling. Also, finding a strong support system. I was extremely blessed to have not one but two parents who were extremely supportive. I understand that's not the case for everybody. Sometimes your family may be come from people who are not your actual blood. And I
Mhm.
also was blessed with some extremely great friends. And I would not dare name names because I feel like if I started naming names, I would miss somebody.
Oh, no.
And when you do that, it's like you miss somebody.
Yeah,
It's like, oh my God, I forgot to say such and such names,
right.
and
It's love to all who you know who you
love,
are.
love to all. So yes, I would say uh, having a strong Christian foundation, therapy, having a great support system, parents, parents, excellent friends. And I was also blessed with some great supervisors, some great coworkers, and people who the Lord just plant strategically along my way or along my path in life. They have been a blessing. And sometimes you wonder, how did you know I would need this? How did you know, Lord, I would need this
Mm.
person in my life at that time period? But He just knows. He knows all. And it's just truly amazing. And, when I think about this process, Marya, to tell you the truth, just to show you how God is always working, this book was published the day after my birthday. I had nothing to do with that. I had no idea that this book would come out the day after my birthday. So I feel like
Wow.
that's the
What
biggest
a
birthday
gift.
present I gave to myself this year.
Oh. That is the most powerful birthday present to have something that is so personal and so important and something you've worked on for so long to come to fruition and out there for everyone. So please make sure everyone here buy the book. The Daily Pain. It's all the links of where you can find it are below. You can find it on all major booksellers, Amazon. It's on oh, where is it? Barnes and Noble, right? We also have Walmart. There's quite a few places you can find it. Look up, find Cecily. Make sure you're following her. And yes, no, I love that, and I love this idea of when you know people are planted in your way, right, on purpose to guide you. So community is huge. Faith is really big for you, and it sounds like therapy was also definitely one of those things. So no holdbacks as a question: when you're going through your worst, the best people who really are there for you show up. Yes, obviously not a question, but a statement, and I love that. Yes, right? And it's funny because sometimes and I wonder, like, did you see this? Is that did you realize who the best people were for you? And maybe some of the people who weren't really looking out for you, you also realized as well.
I think some people, like I have some childhood friends, friends from middle school, high school, college, people who were strategically planted in my life throughout the years. And you learn people, and the more time you get to spend with people, like I said, you will know a tree by its fruit. And these people really want the best for you. They care for you. They may be something that's random as a check-in. And you thinking it's random, it's not really random. But what they don't know is you may have had a terrible day, you know,
Mm,
or you may have been crying, an hour earlier or 5 minutes earlier. Or even family members. I have some really awesome family members as well, besides my parents. Um, so I think a support system is really huge. And I understand that everybody does not have a great support system. And so this is why in the book I encourage people to build your own support system. Find what interests you. Find what works best for you. Is it journaling? I don't know. Is it exercising? I don't know. Only you can figure it out. Is it traveling? Maybe every 2 or 3 months. Is it finding a remote job? Is it working under a boss who doesn't micromanage you? I can't answer that. Only you know what works for you. And then, which brings me to another great point. You have to learn your triggers. What
mm.
triggers your mood? What makes you angry? What's sensitive for you? What's a sensitive topic for you? As I discuss in the novel as well, holidays are a trigger for me. December to January. Some years are better than others. And that's a trigger for me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's the closing of the year, but it's something that I've had to learn to work around. But I'm
Mm.
aware that the key is I'm aware of this. If you aren't aware of your triggers, then that's a problem. You need to find out what causes you to become angry. Why are you angry? What haven't you healed?
Absolutely. I mean, and I love this idea of digging deeper into understanding ourselves to be able to find that healing and really make the bigger impact in the healing. Sometimes we heal on the surface when we don't heal the really big patterns that are the root of it. And it just happens to be that I have a course where literally we're doing that. We're unpacking our patterns. So please join me, those of you who are looking for some of those answers and want some additional guidance in addition to Cicely's book, which is the Empowerment Unlocked course, which starts in January 22nd, and all the links and information are below and on my website. But I wanna kinda go deeper now into this because I think what you've done is you've laid out a lot of practical tips, but you also really speak honestly about what it is to experience depression, what it is to have what you speak of as the daily pain, right? And and I wonder, can you tell us more about some of those moments when that daily pain felt like hope was so far away and how it felt, but also how you've been able to move through it.
It feels dark. Sometimes it can feel really dark. Or for my experience, may be completely different from the next person. But for me, it could be low energy, feeling sad, down, blue. Um, and honestly, sometimes people don't know what it takes for me to just show up in a day. I've always been told I have a really pretty smile or that I smile and laugh a lot. But sometimes I'm doing that, to avoid dealing with the pain I'm feeling on the inside. It's like a weight, a heaviness you feel inside of you. And you just want it to stop. You want it to stop. And it feels dark. And as I was writing earlier, going through notes, trying to prepare for this interview, I wrote a keynote that I want to share. You have to sit in it sometimes. You have to sit in this. But the important point I wrote was don't stay there. It's okay to sit there for a while, but don't stay there. You get up little by little, you pick yourself up. It could be something as simple as going and taking a shower or eating a meal. Because sometimes when you in a mood like that, or when you in one of those depressive moods or states, you don't really have a big appetite. You don't really want to watch TV. All you want to do is sleep. All I want to do is sleep, to be quite frank. Um, but I would say the biggest point is to don't stay there. Try to pull yourself out slowly from it. And that could be something as simple as getting up out the bed and putting on a new pair of pajamas, or
Mm.
going from the bedroom to the living room, or going from the living room to the garage, and from the garage to the vehicle and out the house. So, and let me just say this, people have no idea what it takes for someone to show up every single day. They have no idea what it takes for somebody to show up every single day, especially in this day and age of social media where we see the highlight reels of the
Mhm.
perfect families, the perfect relationships, the perfect lives, or it seems like they have it going on or everything's going great in their world. You don't know that. We're just assuming that from what they're sharing on the internet. We're just getting a snippet. We're not getting a real day to day.
Yeah. No, I mean, and again, it comes back to how you talk about this idea of the silent pain, right? Like it's nobody knows always what everyone's going through and how much it takes to show up. Just One Love says, agreed, have your pity party, sit on it, and then flush the crap and use that. I use that myself, but don't sit on it too long. Absolutely. Nothing can be sat on too long. And I love that you said that, right? So pitch yourself to just take one step, even if that step is as small as putting on something different or or getting out of bed and stepping into your kitchen, right? Like whatever that is. No Holdback says, also realizing that once you find your triggers, you learn some grounding techniques and understand that you will discover more, and that's okay. Absolutely, right? Once you know what your triggers are, you have the tools now, or the awareness of what tools do you need to move through them. Um, and I want to ask, because you're giving the perspective of what it is to experience, but I think there's a lot of people probably on here who maybe have family, friends, people that they love and care for who are showing up in those ways, and they want to know, how do I support my friend or my family member from the perspective of someone who's gone through this? Like, and you talk about your support system, but what is it that you think you needed, or you would say, from conversations with others, what you notice people may need from others in moments like that, when there's darkness, when there's the nothingness, when you want to do and be nothing? What do you need from your community?
I would say maybe start with something as simple as door dashing them some food. Maybe I'm being too simple, door dashing them some food, send them some food, pick up the phone and call them. Or if they're not answering the phone, send them a text message. Or you know what, if you're there for that person and you're sitting there with that person, just sit there with them in silence. Sometimes people don't need a speech about, well, if I was you, I would do da 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 da, or you should do da 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 da. People don't want to hear that all the time, especially if they feel like that. Sometimes the best thing you can do for somebody is just sit with them, or just be there for them by showing up. Just showing up, just your presence means so much. Now, I do
Mm,
understand sometimes we may push back, you know, and that's okay. I mean, but I would encourage the people who genuinely want to show up, keep pushing, keep knocking, don't give up. Keep knocking and keep pushing until that person has no choice but to let you in. Because they see you're not going nowhere. You genuinely and truly, really do care for them and their well being.
And eventually they may break down those walls a little bit, right? And
Absolutely.
I like this idea of DoorDash because I think sometimes, like, if you don't know what to say and you feel like you are being pushed away, I mean, nobody's pushing away food. Or
No,
I mean, they might be a little bit,
nobody's pushing
but
away
like,
food.
like mostly you'd be like, at some point I'm be hungry, right? like,
Yeah, nobody's pushing away food. And so,
like you
you
can't go
know,
wrong. I didn't say the
no,
wrong thing. I didn't offend you. I brought you food.
and it may sound so simple, but it really is simple little things that people
And I think it's a safe thing, but it's still a thing from love and care. And to your point, it shows genuine, genuine connection with someone. Like I really do want to be there for you. I don't know how, but here's something I can do.
yes,
And
yes,
that's what it sounds like you're saying, that people just need to know that there's someone there who's not giving up on them.
yes, yes, yes.
That's huge. That's huge. And you know, with your own mental health struggles and in writing this book and everything, how have you felt in your day-to-day life is as you've kind of you know moved through not carrying your struggles but actually expressing them, right? Saying things, speaking on all of this. And you said writing was your healing, but tell me more about that part of this journey for you.
Writing was very therapeutic for me. Actually, when I went back and reread what I went through, what I still deal with, it actually made me really sad. It made me really sad to know that I went through that and experienced that. But it also made me realize how strong I really am, that I was able to push past all of this and get the help I need, push past the depressive episodes, push past the anxious moments. So, writing was my tool, or very therapeutic, to get everything I experienced out on paper. And just to be quite honest, everybody keeps telling me, who I know who've read the book, they're like, "You're being so transparent." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am being transparent." Now, there is still, parts, that I scaled down on. Because some things are just too personal, to share in a book. But I was transparent for the most part, because I feel like if I wanted people to resonate with me or understand me, I feel like I had to give them me genuinely on the paper,
Mm.
which is what I
Mhm.
did. I wanted you to feel what I went through or what I was going through. And the only way I could do that was by being authentic to myself and being authentic to that paper that I'm writing,
Mm.
typing on. And so that is how I was able to push past this or try to make some sense of this in my world, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. And transparency is almost the healing part, is what it sounds like, right? It's the full authenticity of you without, and full doesn't always mean I expose every single scar and on me, right? Full means just I'm genuinely telling you this was hard. How hard, you get to decide to share, right?
Yeah.
Um and so I wonder for you, do you feel like in some ways this book is a little bit of a love letter to little Cicely?
Yes, yes, there's so much, and I'm getting excited about this because there's so much conversation now about healing the inner child or healing the inner child. I don't know if you've heard this phrase.
Absolutely. I talk about it all the time. Yes.
And
Yes.
I feel like I'm healing younger Cicely. This is like a healing letter to younger Cicely to let her know, yeah, you walked through all this, you've experienced all this, but look at you now. You're on the other side of this. But let me be clear, I still do struggle at times, but I'm not where I used to be. So that's why I want people to know that healing is possible, but you have to do the work. It won't come to you. You have to show up every day. You have to really want it for yourself. And it's hard. My God, I know it is hard. It is so, so hard when you feel like
Mhm.
nobody really cares or you feel really alone. But people really do care for you. They really do love you. They want you here. And you have to find, again, I will stress this again, the support system that works for you. Your
Mhm.
support system may not look like my support system, but that's okay. Whatever works for you, whatever keeps you going from day to day. And let me just also share this. I've had so many people who've confided in me that they had to go to counseling for different things, or they knew a family member or a friend who experienced maybe some anxiety or depression. So, by me sharing my story, is actually giving people, I feel, confidence to talk more about this topic because
Mhm.
I still feel like mental health is a taboo topic a little bit. I feel like
Yeah.
it's made some great strides over the past few years or the past few decades. Compared to 2000, absolutely. But is the conversation where it could be? Absolutely not. But I do believe we have made great strides in the discussion and the topics. But yes, to answer your question, this is absolutely healing the inner child and a love letter to little Cicely to let her know, look at everything you went through, but you're still here. You're
Look,
better now. You're stronger now.
and
I
stronger, right? So powerful. So powerful. Like that. And that is, there really is so much in that when you are able to look back at your little self who didn't have power, who didn't have the ability to change the things around them that was hurting them, and to say, no, but I can do it now. I can take care of you now.
absolutely.
And you keep being able to do that for little Cicely when pain comes, because it does. To your point, right? Like, I don't think anything, healing is an evolution of constantly um, facing yourself and facing challenges over and over again, but learning from it. And to your point, never sitting in it, right? Constantly learning your tools so that you quicker and quicker can get out of it. So, to that point, like when you think about power now, and just over the time, right? What you saw power as a child, what you saw as a young adult, and now how you see it in your stage of being currently. How do you see power? And how have you defined or changed your definition of it?
Power in regards to
Just
heal.
your own power, your power.
I guess I didn't realize that I had so much control over my life. Because, growing up, you told you going to school or you're going to do this, you're going to do that, right? Or whatever. But when it comes to mental health, you're thinking that, oh, this is all out of my control. This is all
Mhm.
out of my hand, right? But then as you gain more tools, more resources, you realize you do have more control than you think you do. You get to control your narrative, you get to control your outcome. Nobody gets to decide where my elevator stops or where my train
Mhm.
stops. I decide where my elevator stops and where my train stops. You don't get to decide that. The only person who ultimately gets to decide that is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and yourself by the work you're doing. That's who decides where your elevator stops or your train stops, not you. So you control your destiny, your story, your narrative, but you have to also be open to the twists and turns that may come with it as well. Because healing,
Inevitably.
yes, 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 because healing is not linear. It's up and down. It's up and down. It's a roller coaster. It's not, oh, I'm here one day, and we're gonna go from here to there. Like, no, it's not like that. It's really up and down.
It's a whole messy ball game. It is.
It's very messy. It's ugly. It's very messy and ugly, but on the other side, it is a great feeling. So awesome.
It really is, right? And it is a choice,
Yes,
right?
it truly
So,
is.
kudos to all who are on here on the show, who are listening, to making the choice to heal, to joining us in learning more tools for healing. Thank you so much, Cicely, for just sharing your story of how you have been healing and what you have learned, what you have experienced, and what you are now giving others to take away. So, with that, when you think about, our listeners, right? Some people who are sitting in loneliness or heaviness right now, or have been before, right? What's one gentle truth or a reminder that you want them to hold on to today?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel those feelings. You have to go through it to get to the other side. But there is hope. There is healing on the other side. There is a better day or a better tomorrow coming. You have to believe that. You have to truly, truly believe that for yourself. And as I said before, sit in it, sit in it, go through it, but don't stay there. Get up and get out of it slowly but surely. Pull yourself out of it. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard because I've been there. But I promise you, tomorrow the sun will shine again.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, right? It's okay. That's such a big permission to give us all, right? It's okay. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel darkness. It's okay to let yourself feel all the things, but also give yourself grace through that.
Absolutely.
And
Grace.
don't sit in it.
Mhm.
Don't sit there too long.
Yeah.
Find the community, right? There's so many great tools. And please go and pick up the Daily Pain so that you have the tools and the information, that you understand a little bit more of the story, to help you to hopefully get the words and the language you need to express your own, to face your own, to know and understand your own, and get your strength, because all of us have the ability to turn our pain into power when we choose to heal. Thank you so much, Cicely. This has been such a great conversation. I so appreciate everything that you're sharing. How do people follow you and continue to learn more about your journey, your work, all the things you're doing?
People can follow me by going to Instagram. Instagram, follow me at Daily Pain Book CH. Daily Pain Book CH. Purchase the book from Walmart.com, Amazon.com, Barnes and Nobles, or they can email me. Let me pull up the email address because I understand everybody doesn't use social media in this day and age.
That's very true. A lot of people don't these days. Everyone's protesting it, I've realized, which is
Yes,
a great thing. We have so many other ways to be in contact. You don't have to use social media, but
yes,
definitely go and get the book.
yes. Please, please get the book from Amazon, Walmart, Barnes and Nobles. Purchase the book. I promise you, it is worth the read. And I don't keep you in here long. It's not 100 or 200 pages, but I promise you, it is fruitful and you will be blessed. Or you can email me at dailypainbook@gmail.com, dailypainbook@gmail.com, or follow me on Instagram at dailypainbookch.
I love that. And all those links and information are below in this YouTube video. So please make sure you check that out. And while you're down there, subscribe, comment, like,
Yes, all
join
that.
and hit the bell so that you are here. Look, I am always selling.
I love it. I love it.
No, thank you so much. I mean, I'm selling, but I am selling a journey for us to all be on, not a product, but things that we are doing together to heal and learn. And so, to this conversation on this journey, if you are in a place where you need some additional support, I have developed courses called Empowerment Unlocked, all based on coming home to ourselves with the framework of return, where we are remembering, examining, transforming, unlearning, and reclaiming our power by nurturing all those pieces, all of the return. And in January, on January 22nd, those courses will launch and begin. Please make sure that you are signing up. The link and information is all below. It is all in my website, it is on my Instagram page. It is only currently $49 for 5 weeks of guided sessions with me and a community similar to what we've been talking about, right? Is building your community to start examining and unlearning patterns that may be some of those triggers, that may be some of the things that come up for you. So join me in January, and please, I hope Cecily, maybe I'll see you there, or someone you can recommend it to. For Empowerment Unlocked. And join me and subscribe to this channel because I also have Marya's Musings, which is my show, where I'm not interviewing anyone. It's just me talking and sharing. But I talk about a lot of things, just what comes to mind. Last time it was actually about the idea of birthing is creativity and healing. So, and not just birthing people, birthing ideas, birthing our creativity. So the birth of your book was your creative healing. And that's what I talk about on Marya's Musings and many, many more things. Thank you, Just One Love, and for No Holdbacks for joining us. And Just One Love says, following Daily Pain Book CH right now. I love it. And I think there was another comment. Just want to make sure I catch it. Thank you so much. Indeed, our circles are important. Grateful for the family and friends that become family. Absolutely no holdbacks. Thank you to our iRant family, to my amazing producer, Mr. Montaigne Masek, and to the Rant Network. Remember that you can actually also catch us on the Roku TV. So if you aren't watching the channel, you haven't gone to my website, do all those things, but you can catch us on the Roku TV on the iRant channel, and make sure that you are joining me every Sunday for new episodes with dynamic guests sharing their stories of turning pain into power, right here at 8 p.m. every Sunday on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much again, Cecily. Please make sure you go and buy her book and have a beautiful evening.
Thank you, Marya.
Peace, peace, love, and light.